Hey, what's going on, guys? Schwarzenegger Magic here. Today I'm going to be showing you, revealing to you, my Scarne Aces routine. Now, if you haven't seen the trick, what I want you to do is go ahead and click on the screen here. It will bring you to the tutorial, or not the tutorial, this is the tutorial, to the performance. It'll be very helpful, okay? You'll be a little bit confused as to what I'm teaching you. So you can click that on the screen or in the description. Whatever, whatever you like. So let's get started as to what the main thing that I did, okay? I had a deck of cards, okay, which I love this trick because you really just need a deck of cards. Your cards will not be ruined, okay? There's no bending corners, okay? You simply do a little thing to the aces, and, well, your aces, after you finish with this trick, they can be easily put back, and it's almost as if you never did anything to them. Now, basically, what my aces are they're a little discolored. You might be able to see all three of them in there, just enough. There's one around here, there's one around the center over here, and there's one around the bottom over there. Now, because they're discolored, they're just discolored enough where I can see them, but my spectator would not be able to. So I would be able to cut to an ace, but my spectator would never have seen the aces in there. Now, I think this is fabulous. I think it's a great idea. Now, many of you, there's so many ways you could do this, okay, in many ways, which would ruin your cards. Now, I know a lot of you do not like to ruin your cards. Maybe you only have one deck. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways to do it, okay? And one way that, your cards will be stuck, and a couple other ways, and let's get started. So one way to discolor your cards is to put them in water, okay? Now, I got this idea originally from when I dropped an ace inside my sink, which happened to be wet. Now, because it was wet, the card got all discolored. Now, I will show you, you might be able to see that the top of that card is all discolored. Okay, I actually just put this one in the sink to show you. Now, because it's discolored, whenever it was in the deck, I always saw it no matter where it was, and it kind of ruined the deck. Now, sure, you could go ahead and take your finger, wet it, and just drag it across the top of the ace here as much as you'd like. Sure, that would work, but, that will ruin the card forever. So, in my aces, I actually did that, and now they're stuck forever. Now, after posting my performance, I was thinking of this, and I was thinking of other ways this could be done, and then I thought of, you could use a marker, completely ruin a card, or you could use a pencil, which is erasable. So that's what I am here to tell you about. So what you want to do is get your aces, okay? Square them up nice and tight. Now, if you have one of these pencils, okay, this is not an ad for anyone, but they're Papermate pencils. What they do is just kind of twist out the lead. Okay, I know there's a lot of push pencils as well. If you have just a normal wood pencil, like this one right here, that'll work fine. This one actually isn't sharpened. But what you do is just bring out the tip just long enough, okay? You then square up your cards, hold them nice and tight, make sure they're even. You then just rub the top of the cards like this with the lead. Now, the lead will discolor the cardboard, so it makes them a different color. Okay, you then want to, after you've done one side, you turn the aces over and do the other side, just to make sure the aces are all discolored. Now, this discoloring with lead is almost very similar to the cardboard color. Now, if you have a brand new deck, like this one, it's fairly new, this trick will be easier to see, okay? And you'll notice that these aces look fine. You can't, there's nothing strange about them. They look completely normal. But watch, if I were to take these, just place them in the deck somewhere, let's say here, I'll just place these in, and then you'll notice that the pencil actually makes them appear, and you'll be able to see them. So right now, you can almost see them. And to be honest, they're not very visible. They're visible enough where I see them, but the spectator will not. Now, one thing you want to make sure you do not do is color the sides of the card, because if you color the sides of the card, it will be a lot easier to see the cards in the deck, and the spectator may notice the aces are discolored and get onto you. Okay. Now, there's another way of doing this trick. Okay, say you have two blue decks. Okay, one blue deck is almost brand new like this one. The other one's very old. Okay, if you take the 4 aces, 4 kings, any 4 of a kind out of that old deck, put them into this deck and get rid of the new cards, obviously, they will show up very visibly. Okay, and this trick will work fine for you. You could do it that way as well. Okay, but the only problem with that is you'll be able to see those cards on the side as well. And, well, to me, it's almost too visible, and the aces are just a little bit too visible to see, and the spectator might see that. Now, let's say you had a really, really old deck of cards. Too old where a pencil doesn't work, okay? You may be thinking of maybe you want to use a marker. And a black marker, okay? Now, I would not recommend this. Why is that? Well, beforehand, I made a little example of this. I'm going to take out a nice ace so it makes it visible so you can see this. Or actually, a 4 would work fine. So I colored on the edge right here. Now, with the black mat, it's probably hard to see, but actually, the black marker drenched the card. It soaked the card so much that it actually came through and ruined more of the card. So if you were to take a black marker and do this with your aces, they'll be able to see this. Once you take the aces out, they'll see the black marker and they'll know something's up. So my recommendation is don't use this black marker. Now let's say you do have a very old deck of cards and you want to be able to do this. Now, a pencil doesn't show up well enough, you can't see them. My next recommendation would be use some water. Now, I'm not saying to put your card in water, okay? Do not do that. All you need is a little bit of water from your mouth, wet your finger, just rub the top like this, make sure you get both sides. Now, just going like this once is not going to work, okay? That's not going to work. What I would recommend is using your tongue. Let's pretend my 2 fingers right here were my tongue. What I would do is just dab it real fast with my tongue, just once, then twice, flip it once, twice, and that is fine. Your card should already starting to be discolored. Now, from there, you may be having some issues. If it's still not showing up, I'm sorry, you may need to get another deck. I apologize. But if you do use your pencil, I know a lot of you worry about ruining cards. Okay, if you use a pencil, after you're done, you can just you could just take the top of the card, whichever has the pencil, and you just erase the top. And your card goes back to normal, there's no pencil markings, and you're fine, you're good to go. And that's what I think is fabulous about this routine. You don't really waste any cards. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it's clear. I hope that helps. I thought this was a fabulous, smart idea when I was thinking of this. I'm sure it's not original. But I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was helpful. If you have any more questions, just feel free to leave them in the comments below. That's it. And as always, remember, I'll be back.